Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Hope everybody having a great day. But anyway, y'all, let's get into this video. I have good news for y'all. Y'all remember I was talking about the teenager from Detroit who went missing, and they found him in a Detroit cemetery. They got two persons in interest in custody, y'all. They got two persons of interest. Now, this is the video. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And after the video, we'll talk about it.
Tracking the case, Detroit police announcing persons of interest are in custody in the death of a missing teen. L.DOWL was last seen last Tuesday. His body discovered 2 days later in a cemetery.
But as police dig deeper into the case, they are learning the victim may have been involved with some troubling other people.
This is DPD cracks down on violent crime that's captured headlines this summer. We're learning the feds have unsealed 8 firearm cases this month alone.
7 News Detroit reporter Randy Wimbley with the message DPD is sending to parents and reaction from the family of the
Hold on, y'all.
teen who was found dead.
And L.DOWL's family tells me they're angry and devastated. News that persons of interest are in police custody is providing them with little comfort. They want to know exactly what happened to him.
We do have 2 persons of interest in custody.
Detroit Police Chief Todd Bettison on the disappearance and killing of 15-year-old L.DOWL. The teen's body was discovered in the Westside Cemetery a day after he was reported missing. DPD says one of those persons of interest turned himself into another police agency on an unrelated case. Officers arrested the other this weekend. Bettison says both are adults and both knew Dowell. Can you say at all if any of those persons of interest were the ones that he was hanging out with the night that he was last seen?
I don't want to get in front of the Wayne County prosecutor on that at all. I can tell you that this young teen was hanging with some individuals of a shady background.
Dowell's sister tells me he was last seen with one of his friends who's about 22 years old, who picked him up to go to the store. The teen never returned. Dowell was wearing a ski mask and gloves when officers found his body. His sister offered this.
I honestly feel like maybe the guys bribed him to do something, to go do something, and it went bad. Or maybe they was lying, telling him they was going to go, do something, and was really trying to do something to him. And I would, for what reason?
She said what I said.
Chief Bettison suggested the mask and gloves indicate the teen may have been involved in questionable behavior.
We've received numerous tips from the community basically telling me about his background and what he does and what he did do. I don't want to disclose that. I'm not trying to disparage that because he is a teen. I hold the adults responsible.
Dowell's death comes as DPD cracks down on reckless violence that oftentimes impacts city youth. He's working with U.S. Attorney Jerome Gorgon, who's assigning more prosecutors to gun crime and gang violence cases in Detroit, and urging parents to get more involved.
We've already increased the fee schedule for parental responsibility tickets, but know where your kids are. Not only knowing where they are, know who they're hanging with.
Right now, DPD is working to send a warrant to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office for those persons of interest.
In custody, but many questions remain.
Police found 15-year-old L.DOWL's body.
Yeah, well, getting back to those 2 persons of interest, the chief telling us that these were adults in their 20s, maybe even 30s.
What?
Reference saying they had, quote, shady backgrounds. Now, he didn't specify the connection between these 2 persons of interest, these adults, and L.DOWL, 15-year-old, but he did say that Dowell was hanging out with these adults. Now, I want to back it up here just again to lay out what happened and what we do know. Again, you mentioned Dowell's body found at a Detroit cemetery on the west side near Lasser and 7 Mile. He's been missing again for 2 days. His family and police searched for him in a park nearby where someone said they dropped Dowell off. Now, it was a passerby visiting a loved one at that cemetery who found Dowell's body. Police saying he was wearing a mask and gloves. But guys, this is what else we learned today. Shortly after Dowell's body was found, one of the persons of interest turned themselves in. Then another, we learned, was taken into custody just on Saturday. Again, Chief Bettison didn't specify the connection between them and Dowell, nor did he confirm what actually happened to Dowell, the cause of his death. But he did a hit on cracking down on gun violence and gun activity citywide, really beefing up the consequences for anyone
I told y'all they were
And
gang.
I will bring the heaviest prosecution from the U.S. Attorney on a fed level, state level, however I can get you. If I can't get you for the case itself, we charge you for the bullets and the guns. But I have a 6-year-old. This little Riley. When I have little Samir Grubbs, a 4-year-old getting shot and killed in Detroit. When I have that, I'm going to utilize every resource. And so the U.S. Attorney has been steadfast and has dedicated additional attorneys to go after gun violence and gangs in the city of Detroit. And that's what we're going to do.
Okay, y'all. Again, there were 2 persons of interest are in custody connection with the 15-year-old Lawrence Dowd. Now, these guys are older than him, but he do know them. Y'all like, share, and subscribe.